evening, everyone. Do we have someone who can whistle? Tony? Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us here tonight. My name is JC Rock, and I am chair of the Board of Trustees for Great Outdoors Colorado. And I am so excited to welcome you to this celebration of the Trinidad community and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for conservation partners to collaborate. Crazy French Ranch encompasses 30 square miles and is home to Fisher's Peak, the backdrop of this beautiful city of Trinidad and Los Animas County. On Thursday of last week, the Nature Conservancy and the Trust for Public Land officially acquired Crazy French Ranch. And on behalf of the GOCO board and Executive Director Chris Castillion, we are so proud to be a partner on this project that showcases so many conservation values. The property and its adjacent public lands create just over 55 square miles of continuous conserved land. To put that in perspective, that is an area of roughly two and a half times the size of Manhattan. As a protected and well-managed natural area, Crazy French Ranch will support native plants and animals. It also represents an important opportunity to protect the identity of this Colorado community and its culture and impact the local economy and quality of life too. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. And so I'd like to welcome several distinguished guests here today to help us celebrate the community and all the passionate people who work every day to protect Colorado landscapes. This is a rather long list. This was as many of you know, this was a big project, years in making, and lots of people are on this list. So just please bear with me. And if I call out your name, if you can just raise your hand so that everyone can see who you are, that would be fantastic. And if you could just hold your applause to the end. I know we want to keep, clapping for everyone, but let's wait to the very end. So first, I'm joined here by my fellow GOCO board members. If you guys can raise your hands, please. Today at our board meeting in Trinidad, we awarded more than $5.4 million to be exact, in grants for local government recreation projects and schoolyards across the state. And I'd like to express a special welcome to one of our newest additions, Dan Gibbs. Raise your hand. Dan recently took the helm at the Colorado Department of Natural Resources, and so we're so excited to have him on our board. Many of us have existing relationships with him, and we're really psyched to have him here with us. Yes. We're also joined here today by a lot of the GOCO staff. If you guys can raise your hands as well, please. They work so hard every single day to make events like this happen, to make these grants happen. And I especially want to recognize Courtney Bennett, the GOCO staffer who's been working so hard on this project. I don't know where she is. Thanks to Colin Waters of the Colorado Lottery, who's here with us tonight. Jennifer Anderson was with us today, but she had to leave, and so Colin, we appreciate you staying to represent. And of course, as many of you hopefully know, the Colorado Lottery, the proceeds really make GOCO happen. That's what funds GOCO. So we always like to have Colorado Lottery here with us. I'd like to also specially recognize Mayor Phil Rico and City Manager Greg Sund. And as representatives of this vibrant community, we look forward to hearing from you guys in just a few minutes. So welcome to all of our other distinguished guests, including city council members, county commissioners, and legislators joining us tonight. And I think in particular we have members of the Trinidad City Council. You guys raise your hands here? Yeah, thank you guys. Welcome to all of our guests from Los Animas County. Welcome to all of our guests from the city of Raton. And also to the partners leading this project. Those of you from the Nature Conservancy, including Carlos Fernandez, State Director for TNC in Colorado, and Matt Moorhead of TNC, as well as the Trust for Public Land, including Jim Peterson, State Director for TPL in Colorado, and Wade Shelton. You and your staff's dedication to this project, and in particular to the state's great outdoors, is fantastic and has really made it happen. So thank you guys. Many of our partners from Colorado Parks and Wildlife, including Dan Prensel, Southeast Region Manager. Dan, are you here somewhere? They're here this evening too. We're so pleased that our partnership with CPW extends to this amazing project. To the Trinidad community members here, thank you all so much for having us here tonight and for your support. We are very, very excited for you and so happy to be a part of this project. And finally, I'd like to note that we are extremely grateful to the property owners with a conservation mindset. Their generosity and thought for the future of Colorado benefits all of us. So thank you. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce you to our featured speaker, Dana Crawford. And I'll tell you a little bit about her before she comes up.
Yeah, that's not right.
Exactly. Award-winning preservationist Dana Crawford initiated a concept of urban renewal that was a first of its kind in the United States. She pioneered the redevelopment of Denver's historic Larimer Square in the mid-1960s and has since gone on to redevelop more than 1 million square feet of historic property in the city of Denver. In July 2014, Union Station Alliance opened the 125,000 square foot, $54 million revitalization of the Denver Union Station Transit Hub. That same year, Dana received the Urban Land Institute's Legacy Award for initiating Union Station's reclamation plus decades of development that have redefined Denver. In addition to her redevelopment projects, Dana has also been a consultant to many cities and towns wishing to rejuvenate and reactivate their downtown areas. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Crawford.
Well, and so now the bio will say, and then she fell in love with Trinidad, which is really true. And it's so good to be here when, I mean, many times lately we've been having meetings, hi Greg, and in this particular museum, which I think is one of the stars of Colorado and really probably one of the stars in America, because yeah, give him a clap. Some of you are visiting for the very first time and are probably staying in one of our great hotels or B&Bs. And if you have this available, do not hesitate to read every single word, because this is one of the best brochures about any community that I've almost ever seen. And it will enable me to keep my words brief, because then I will know that you will learn everything that I was planning to say. And I only talk before I drink. So I generally try to talk as fast as possible. And so I hope you'll enjoy that. The title of my talk was asked to be about the future of Trinidad, Colorado. And that's something I kind of dream about some. And there's so many parts of it coming true now. And of course, what we're celebrating today was when I first started coming down here, I remember asking about the Crazy French Ranch, and everybody said, oh, well, it's fantastic, but we can never get it. So I didn't put it on the list early on, and here, boom, it's one of the most important things that's happened all the way along. And then, as you probably know, for a long time, Trinidad has been working with Space to Create to build what ultimately is going to be 41 studios for artists. And when the research was done to convince the people in Minnesota to help finance this project, they did a survey, and they had to have 400 names that would sign up as potential tenants and users, and they got over 600, I think 660. So that just goes to show that this is probably going to be quite an artsy town. In a sense, it always has been. And I often think of it as a little big town or a big little town, because at one time it was 30,000 people. And that's one of the reasons that it has such a fascinating urban fabric, which really, you people have done such a great job of preserving. And then I'm here now to nag at you more, because we drove around a little bit today, and there are a few little corners that need to be polished up. So the thing that, of course, I'm most in love with, besides just being in love with the whole town, is the property which the city purchased the 5th of December, the Fox West Theater. And it's going to take quite a while, and it's going to take a lot of money, and we've estimated about $8.8 million, but every construction job I talk to about anybody in Colorado lately, it's always 30% underestimated. So I'm just bracing myself. And who knows, maybe I won't even be here. I welcome you all tonight, and I promised you and myself that this would be brief. There's so many other improvements that fit into this gigantic puzzle. The streets are greatly improved. So many actions have been taken one by one, little actions, big actions. And so, this little publication talks about Trinidad as the way out west. And it certainly is the new west, being like the old west. And it's one of the reasons that we're here together tonight. And I thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Crawford, for sharing your vision. I also agree. Dana, well, I didn't want to presume, right? They call you Dana here. I figured it was a sign of respect. Anyways, thank you for sharing your vision. And I agree with you, Dana, about not drinking before you speak. So I'm going to move us along. So it's now my pleasure to introduce you to Trinidad's Mayor Phil Rico and City Manager Greg Sund, who have so kindly welcomed us into your community this week and who have been such passionate proponents of the inspiring vision for Crazy French Ranch. Come on up, guys.
I wanted him to go first. Crazy French Ranch, access to the Crazy French Ranch to Fisher's Peak. This is something that I've been hearing all my life. I'm a lifelong resident of Trinidad. And throughout the years, visitors as well as residents have always wanted to be able to go and hike Fisher's Peak. But it's always been under ownership, private ownership. So my wife and I, we've known Evelyn for, 25, 30 years. About 6 or 7 years ago, I started talking to her about just accessing, just to be able to go up on Fisher's Peak and just to hike through that process, there was some issues, not with me or anything of the city of Trinidad, but between her and the city manager, or not a city manager, but a property manager, that it went by the wayside. So about, what, 18 months ago, something like that, you know, we got the opportunity to revisit it. The first time that we went up, there were probably 10 or 12 of us in 4 brand new Jeeps. The Jeeps didn't come back in the same way that they went up. Somebody had a good job of polishing it, so polishing those Jeeps. But anyway, what I wanted to say is thank you to GOCO Colorado, Trust for Public Wildlife, Nature Conservancy. I want Trinidad, you Trinidad people, I want you to give them a big welcome because, and thank you. I think I mentioned Parks and Wildlife too, didn't I? But they're part of it. Yeah, they, you know, without these groups, we would not be here today. I am really surprised that this process has only taken basically pretty much only the last 12 months. So this has moved along really, really quick and surprised the heck, I think, out of all of us. You know, and I do want to recognize a couple of people that have been on the ground with us since day one, and that was Wade Shelton. Where are you, Wade? Matt Moorhead. These two individuals have been the two that have been, I think, grinding everything out for us. They have been the go-between between everybody. So you guys have really done a wonderful job to make this happen. And then after that, along came the Colorado Parks and Wildlife and GOCO Colorado. And I'd be remiss if I would not say that, you know, our city council, please stand up. After all the initial time that we went up to Fisher's Peak, to some of the tours that we took, you know, we had to get city council to get behind this project, which they did. And they really believed that this is something that the city of Trinidad needs. This is another part of what our economic development, this is an extra piece that it just adds to the creative industry, the recreational aspect of it. So really, this is something that will boost the Trinidad area to become a destination point, and I really, truly believe it. And I wanted to thank Greg's son. He has been the one that's probably been on the phone mostly with these groups. Greg, thank you for everything you've done on this project, because I think, you know, without, you know, your leadership, we wouldn't be here either. So I just want to say thank you, and let's all enjoy the evening. We have a long road ahead of us yet, so please be patient. We probably have a couple of years' work putting this all together, and we will all make this happen. By the way, you are the city of Trinidad, all you citizens, you are partners with the city of Trinidad, with the Nature Conservancy, with Trust for Public Lands, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. We're all in this together, so we are all partners. So please remember that. And thank you.
I've been telling people tonight that I'm just absolutely on cloud 9 with this. I can't believe we're at where we are today. Never in my entire career did I think I'd be involved in a project like this, and it's been a great relationship. I'm super glad that I made the phone call to Wade Shelton back in October or November of 17, because that changed everything. When we first started talking about this at all, we were talking about the northern 4,000 acres of the ranch. And within a few minutes of talking on the phone with Wade, he said, why don't we just go for the whole 19,000 acre ranch? I had to catch my breath a little bit, but it has been one heck of a ride, and I'm so proud to have been a part of this. The participation from the community in the visioning process has been unbelievable. And please continue to provide your input, continue to participate in the process. And when this is done, we'll have one of the best facilities and one of the best resources that's available anywhere in the state of Colorado.
And now I have the pleasure of introducing Carlos Fernandez, who leads a staff of 60 employees at the Nature Conservancy. Working with partner organizations, government agencies, elected officials, and other key decision makers, Carlos and his team advance conservation outcomes in Colorado and around the world. Carlos?
Well, good evening. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for joining us. It is an absolute pleasure for the Nature Conservancy to be part of this project. We're so thrilled. Just imagine, a little bit over 12 months ago, when we got a phone call from Mayor Rico and from TPL to join this dream, because really today we're celebrating the first step of an amazing process for Trinidad, for Las Animas County, and for Colorado. Who wouldn't jump to the opportunity to partner with the City of Trinidad, with CPW, TPL, and GOCO in creating and giving our best to preserve nature, to be able to bring the outdoor recreation economy? Colorado is the mecca for outdoor recreation economy, and by the way, all of those pillars together to bring economic development for this area. We, the Nature Conservancy, has been working in Southeast Colorado for over 20 years. This has been it is one of our most important or critical conservation areas in the state, and we cannot be more proud of being part of this. We commit here tonight to be able to bring our science-based approach, to bring our convenient approach, our partnership approach as well, and to be able to, as Mayor Rico said, with his amazing leadership and vision for this, really a best place, you know, not only in Trinidad, in Las Animas, but also in Colorado and beyond for future generations to come. We're really excited to be here. As Mayor Rico says, we're going to have around 2 years process of doing this work. We look forward to working with all of you together. But I don't want to forget to recognize some of my colleagues. And Mayor Rico recognized Matt Moorhead, but I have Jackson Moller as well here. Lisa Rankle, you are somewhere over here. Lindsay Schlageter, JJ Autry, our man on the ground on Jay Canyon Ranch. I'm so deeply grateful to all of you. And I want to recognize our partners once again. Great Outdoors Colorado, they have been an amazing partner. City of Trinidad, CPW, fantastic partner, and the Trust for Public Land. And so let me now transfer and be able to give the microphone to my dear friend, Jim Peterson, who is the State Director for Colorado, but Southwest Director for the Trust for Public Land. Great organization. Thank you.
Thanks, Carlos. You know, communities across the West are really starting to think about how high-quality outdoor experiences can really play a key role in enhancing cities and towns' quality of life and the sense of place for local residents, and how we can power a diverse and sustainable and strong local community. And it's that reason why the Trust for Public Land is so honored to work with the City of Trinidad, Mayor Rico, and with our other partners in this project. It's our hope and frankly our belief that this project will bring many benefits to the city, to the county, and to the state as a whole. And you know, over the last couple of months, we've been doing this community visioning process where we've been going out and speaking, I think, to many of you. And through that process, we had the opportunity to talk to 300 or so people, including about 100 school kids. And there's a common thread that's run through all of those comments, and that is this sense of excitement and maybe even a little bit of yearning to have this close-to-home opportunity to get outside, connect with nature, run, ride, hike, hunt, and just simply explore and teach our kids about the outdoors. And that's the stuff that all of us are so excited about, and we believe that this project embodies. So with all of your help, as well as the partners in this project, we're going to get that done, and we're going to do it together. And we're going to do it in a way that will, we hope, serve as a bit of a living laboratory for other communities looking at similar opportunities, other communities that want to invest in their quality of life and their future economy. So thanks to all of you for your role in that and helping us bring this project to life. This is something that could not happen without the input and enthusiasm of such a vibrant and exciting community. And also let me say, we're not done by any means. We have a lot of work to do. There's a master planning process before the ranch can be open to public access, and that is something that you all will have a role in as well. We also have a lot of funds to raise, so we'll be working hard on that, and we will appreciate having the wind at the back that you all will generate for us as we do that. And so we're, as Carlos said and everyone else has said, so excited about this project for what it means to Trinidad and to the state as a whole. And we do hope to share these lessons more broadly as well. So with that, let me introduce one of Colorado's great conservation leaders, Dan Prenslow. Dan has devoted his career and his life's work to wildlife management and to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. He is the Southeast Region Manager for Colorado Parks and Wildlife. He's based in Colorado Springs, and I know he makes a lot of trips down this way. So Dan, thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I'll try not to get a little feedback. So I would like to say I'm speaking on behalf of our acting director, Jeff Versteeg, and we have a local Parks and Wildlife Commissioner, Jim Vigil, who can't be here. I believe he's taking care of a grandbaby in Houston. So you get me. So I thought I would start with a little jingle, if you don't mind. It'll be short. So I believe Republicans are red, Democrats are blue, but Colorado Parks and Wildlife is here to serve you. That's as good as you're going to get from me. So here's what I'll tell you, that Wade and Matt called me about 3 or 4 years ago, back to this timeline, and they said, Dan, what do you think about buying Crazy French? I pretty much peeled off the road and started laughing because I really couldn't fathom such a big project. But in all sincerity, I did say, let's think about it. Let's continue to work with it. But I can tell you one thing. Colorado Parks and Wildlife no way has the clout, the ability, or the capacity to lead that project. The only way we could do that is with huge, huge political support and community support. And what I would tell you from the bottom of my heart is, here's what this turned out to be. From that conversation, those guys put it together. Everybody here has a piece and a part of that. This isn't us. I just want to thank you. This is a community thing, and we are here to serve you. For that, I would ask you give yourself a round of applause. Last but not least, we don't even want to talk about planning. We're here to try and open this to the public so you can come out and enjoy the resources of the old Crazy French Ranch, the current Fisher's Peak Ranch, and we're glad to help you do that. We're looking forward to opening. Thank you very much. I'll go back.
I feel like we should have ended on that jingle. I do not think that I can follow up on that. So before I forget, let's give a round of applause this evening for the A.R. Mitchell Museum and the staff. This is just an amazing event. It's such a beautiful building, so thank you guys. So once again, thank you to you all for joining us here tonight. At GOCO, we write checks, and that is not to denigrate the amazing work that our staff does. They work really hard. But we write checks. And you all and our partners, you guys do the really difficult, on the ground, down and dirty, hard work. And so we are so grateful to you all because we just get to be a part of this. And we get to show up, and we get to give speeches, and we get to throw parties, and we get to call people Ms. instead of their first name. but you guys are the ones who actually really deserve all the thanks here. So thank you again. And for those of you who have glasses, let's raise your glass. Cheers to Trinidad and cheers to Crazy French Ranch. Thank you.